Kevin Costner and Christine Baumgartner were described as two kids in love during their wedding in 2004. Cut to 2023, and the two of them are going at it with one another in one of Hollywood's messiest divorces. It's all been settled now, thankfully, but the Yellowstone actor told the world that there were no winners in the end. He said that he's focused on trying to find a way to make peace with the end of his 18-year-long marriage and adjust to the change. So, let's see how he's been doing. The divorce was dragged out for a lot longer than it had to. The pair had originally met sometime in the early 90s before reconnecting in 1998, a few years after Costner was divorced from his first wife of 16 years, Cindy Silva. The two dated for a while and had their ups and downs, including a brief split in 2002, before realizing they only ever wanted to be with one another. So, in 2004, the pair finally said, "I do," and were married on Costner's Aspen Ranch. It was a beautiful wedding, and the actor spared no expense. He was determined to make this one work. Still, this was back when Costner's career had taken off, and he was one of Hollywood's finest. His legal team advised it'd be best to have Christine sign a prenup. The whole document hasn't been revealed to the public even now after their divorce, but it looks like one of the major stipulations of the agreement was that Christine would walk away with $1.5 million free and clear if they ever split. It also said that if she challenged the whole document, she'd be withdrawing that amount. The divorce was dragged by Christine's legal team, according to Costner's side, and they accused the handbag designer of trying to get one over on the actor. Anyway, a conclusion was eventually reached, and the judge ruled in Costner's favor on just about everything. It wasn't enough to make him a happy man, though, and Kevin admitted that he was going through a testing time in his life with the divorce. One of the very first things he did was get back into the dating pool. Tabloids had a field day when it was rumored Costner was dating Reese Witherspoon. Were they dating? No, but everyone sure held on to hope that they were. Much like Costner, Reese went through a highly publicized divorce of her own. In March 2023, she split with her husband of 11 years, Jim Toth, after he'd allegedly cheated on her. The circumstances surrounding their divorce are still foggy. But one thing was sure, Hollywood's leading lady was finally single. And who better to walk hand in hand with the leading lady than Hollywood's very own Kevin Costner? The visual works on every level, right? That's what fans had to say as they pressed the two to comment on their alleged romance. The rumors were fueled by multiple anonymous reports that suggested the two actors had been texting one another nonstop. Costner had broached the idea of working with Reese on a movie, and they'd been texting about it, and other things, for months. The rumors were somewhat solidified after an old interview with Costner resurfaced where he called Reese charming. Everyone could hear wedding bells all too soon, but then Reese's representative left us all broken-hearted. The two were not dating and hadn't been texting each other either. The rep clarified that the actress had been reeling from her divorce and was taking this time to focus on herself and her kids first and foremost. She simply didn't want to jump back into another relationship so soon. Reese had been fighting off dating rumors for a while now after first being linked to legendary quarterback Tom Brady back in the summer of 2023. Ironically, the two had never even met. Besides rumors surrounding his apparent relationship with Reese Witherspoon, there's not much else to talk about in Kevin's love life. He's been partying a whole lot since his divorce. Once the dust from his bitter legal battle with his ex-wife settled, Costner decided the best way to clear his mind was by basking in the sun. And he did just that when he packed his swimming trunks and headed over to Necker Island, which, in case you didn't know, is owned by Richard Branson. The 68-year-old actor, writer, director, and producer was seen vacationing with Jewel, Emma Watson, and Michael Bolton. The island was also hosting an exclusive tennis event where Costner hit out a few swings, too. Reportedly, guests have to pay $100,000 to gain entry to the island, and Kevin was more than willing to splurge after the mess he'd just been through. He was seen having lunch with Emma Watson and Jewel, as well as going out to surf and scuba dive with the rich and famous. It looked like he was having the time of his life. Despite being close to 70, Costner's not ready to slow down anytime soon. If anything, he's been enjoying learning all about the latest trends and fascinations. Speaking of which, did you know that the former Yellowstone star is a Swiftie? The actor was one of the lucky few who managed to secure a ticket for one of the 6 sold-out Eras Tour concerts in Los Angeles. He attended the concert with his 13-year-old daughter, Grace Avery, and said that he had the time of his life. The Stone Cold Costner is many things, and being a Swiftie wasn't something anyone could have guessed. To be fair, Costner admitted he hadn't heard much from Taylor's discography either until his daughter dragged him to her concert. It was honestly such a cool dad moment when the actor posted blurry videos from the concert onto his Instagram and declared that he was officially a Swiftie now. That might have been one of Costner's most famous social media posts of all time because everyone took to the comment section to applaud him for his great taste in music. Sure, they also trolled him for not getting VIP tickets too. But it's the Eras Tour we're talking about here. The split has given him time to focus more on his hobbies. By the way, Christine wasn't the only person Costner split up with in 2023. It was also the year that fans of Yellowstone learned that the Dutton family patriarch would not be returning for another season. Effectively, this meant that Season 5 would indeed be the last season of Paramount's Western. Sure, that was a shocker for all of us, and even more so considering that Kevin could have stayed if Taylor Sheridan had given in to his demands. To be fair, the actor's demands seemed a little unreasonable to many. You have to remember here that Taylor Sheridan created the whole Yellowstone universe, which also includes its many spin-off series. He's been the sole force behind the show ever since the first episode aired way back in 2018. One of Costner's conditions was that he wanted more creative liberties on the show. That was something Sheridan was never going to compromise on, and it was eventually decided that it'd be best for Costner to hang up his cowboy hat and say goodbye. Not without one last hurrah, though, and no, I'm not just talking about a thrilling final season. Apparently, after settling his divorce proceedings, Costner's gearing up to see the inside of a courtroom once again as he takes Sheridan to court. That's right, one of the many things he claimed when he announced he wanted to leave the show was that he wasn't being paid enough. This wasn't to say that Costner wanted more money, but he claimed that Sheridan had cut his paycheck in half in later seasons. Why? Kevin didn't know, but he was sure ready to find out. He probably needs all the money he can get right now, and not just because he's had to pay his wife $1 million in the divorce settlement, but also because he's financing his movie. Horizon, an American saga, is coming to theaters near you in 2024. Or maybe later. We don't know much about Kevin Costner's Western epic right now. That's right, one of the first things former Yellowstone star did when he walked off Paramount's lot started working on his own Western. His is a movie, though, which, if all goes well, would be segmented into 4 films. The first of them is called Horizon and is set to be released sometime in 2024. The writer's strike delayed production on the film, but everything's back on schedule now. To say that this film is his passion project wouldn't be a stretch. It is. He's been working on the script for decades now. That's right, Kevin Costner's always had a knack for writing, directing, and producing, but Horizon's the first time he's trying on all 3 hats at once. Do you think Kevin Costner's handling his divorce well, or do you think he's spiraling? Let us know in the comments. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more.